Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read through Parshat Vaeira. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there's so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world. But I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. This is in Exodus, this is in chapter 6, verse 3. God is talking to Moshe, and he says to him, Ani Hashem, I am God. And he says, Vaeira al Avram al Yitzchak al Yaakov bekel shakai. I appeared to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov as Kel Shakai. But Ushmi Hashem, the four-letter name of God, the Yud Ke Vav Ke, Lo Nadati Lahem. They did not know that name. What does that mean? You know, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov had a very real personal relationship with God. What does it mean that they only knew him as the Kel Shakai? They didn't know him as the Yud Ke Vav Ke. Only Moshe would know him as the Yud Ke Vav Ke. What's the difference between Kel Shakai and the Yud Ke Vav Ke, the four-letter name of God? So the great tzaddik Rabbi Avram Yitzchak HaKohen Kook says something beautiful. He says that the way Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov only knew God is in a very personal relationship. Right? God spoke to them, Lech lecha me'aretzcha, go from your land. It was a very personal relationship. Even the whole story with Joseph getting sold and then eventually getting reunited with his brothers, and that was still a very personal God, right? He was involved in Yaakov, Jacob's family, but they didn't know him on a national level. They didn't know that he's involved in big global affairs as well. That was the relationship between God and Moshe, the Yud Ke Vav Ke relationship. The Kel Shakai, that was a more personal relationship, but the Yud Ke Vav Ke, that is a more global, national relationship. God was telling Moshe, it's not only just that I care about each individual, I also care about us as a klal. I am involved in our affairs on a national, global level. This is an incredible idea. You know, we go sometimes through life with our perception of God is sometimes one of two things, and only one of two things. Sometimes our perception of God is He is involved in our personal lives. He does care about my little actions here and there, my personal struggles. But big global things, that's, He leaves to the governments of the world, the militaries of the world. That's the big things He's not really involved with. It's just each of us on an individual level. And then there's some people who relate to God and they say, no, He just cares about the big picture. He's involved in the big global affairs, the national events. But me personally, I'm just a small little guy. I have my own little struggles. He's not really paying attention to me. He doesn't really care. He doesn't have a personal relationship with me. He's not involved in my everyday business. He's not involved in about my struggles, my weaknesses, my strengths. He's just interested in the big picture, the big global affairs. This is the dual nature of God. Rav Avram Yitzchak HaKohen is saying that God is both. He is revealed to us as the father of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, as in being involved in us and with us in a very personal, real way. But He also is involved as the Yud Ke Vav Ke, the one who's involved in global affairs, the national affairs. I want to leave everyone with a bracha, to always remember to have both of these sides of God in your mind and in your heart. God cares about each and every one of us. He cares about our actions. He's involved in our daily lives. But also remember that He's involved in a greater destiny of the world, a greater destiny of the Jewish people, the land of Israel, humankind, mankind. These are all things that God also cares about. When we have a remembrance of these two roles that God has, and we believe fully in these two roles, our life takes on so much more meaning. We have such a deeper relationship with Hashem, with God. I want to wish everyone here a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh. Thank you so much for listening.